Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. Today we're going to take a look at the rabbit and how the rabbit is going to fare in the year of the wood snake 2025. Now, this is for all those of you who have the rabbit in their Bazi chart, so not just in the year. So you may have been born in the year of the rabbit, then definitely this applies to you. But even if you're born in any other year, you may still have the rabbit somewhere in your natal chart. And we're going to take a look at what that means for you and what sort of energies you can expect in 2025. Now, the year of the wood snake officially starts on the 3rd of February 2025. That's according to the Chinese calendar. And obviously, what we want to do here is make sure that we can prepare and that we're not being caught with our pants down on the 3rd of February, but rather that we can look at, okay, what is coming and how can we best prepare for it to make the most out of the year. Now, firstly, obviously, you need to plot your Bazi chart. So you can go to this link here, and the link will also be in the description to the video. So just take a look there and copy paste, and you can then plot your Bazi chart. Now, you don't necessarily need your time of birth. If you don't have it, don't panic. We can still look at this chart and do an analysis. But it's always better to have the time because obviously that gives us a little bit more detail. Now, as you may see here, you have a year pillar. We call this a year pillar, a month pillar, a day pillar, and an hour pillar. And there are 4 different animals in this particular chart. So this person is born in the year of the tiger, in a month of the dragon, on a rat day, and in a snake hour. So this particular person has 4 different animal signs in their chart, none of which are a rabbit. So this person doesn't really have to worry about the outlook for the rabbit, but all the other animal signs will contribute to how this person is doing in 2025 to equal parts. So it's not to say that the year is the most important one. On the contrary, we need to look at the full picture and how it then plays out and how it matches up with the goals and the plans that you have for 2025. Now, some of you may have 4 different animal signs in their chart. For some of you, 2 animal signs or even 3 may repeat. So that's perfectly fine. So just take a look at what you have there. And each pillar or each animal sign pertains to a different aspect of your life, depending on where it appears. So if it appears in the year, it relates more to your wider circle of friends, maybe distant relatives, your industry as a whole, your market, your social media following, if you are an influencer or if you're big on social media, but generally your support network, your social network, your professional network, and so on. So this is the aspect that's then affected. Now, if you have the rabbit in the month, this relates to your work environment. So the way you make money, either as a business owner, your actual company, or if you are an employee, your corporate environment, your office, your co-workers, your immediate superiors. And from a family perspective, this would be the parents. Now, if you have the rabbit in the day, then this is all about you. It has to do with your overall well-being. So be that physically, mentally, emotionally, or even spiritually. So your entire well-being is affected. It also pertains to your relationships, very, very close relationships, intimate relationships with your partner, with your spouse. If you're single, maybe potential partners. But it also relates to very, very close friends. Yeah, your best friend, the people that you consider family, even if they're not family. And then the hour relates to your investments, your investment portfolio, your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, your plans for the year. And if you have children, then the hour pillar is also important because this represents the children. If you don't have children, it can also relate to people who rely on you. Yeah, maybe you've got elderly relatives who rely on you, or you've got friends who rely on you, or maybe your staff, because definitely if you have staff and you're the boss, they rely on you. So this is what the hour pillar represents. So take a look at where the rabbit appears in your chart, because different aspects may then be affected by this particular forecast. So here it goes for the rabbit. Now, on the first glance, it doesn't look so great, because we've only got one auspicious star and then four not so good ones. But again, as I mentioned all the time, don't focus on the negative aspects too much. The negative aspects generally just ask us to refrain from doing certain activities because they may then have a negative effect. So as long as you don't do that, as long as you avoid activities that are generally not favored in 2025, then you don't really have much to worry about. And then you just focus on the auspicious energy that you have in your chart. So the auspicious star here is the thriving star. Sometimes it's also called the wealth and honor star, so whichever way you prefer. And this energy brings wealth opportunities into your life thanks to the help of family, friends, and colleagues. So it's important this year that you really maintain relationships, that you nurture your relationships. Make sure to mingle, make sure to expand your network to increase those opportunities, and don't isolate yourself. Yeah, the more you isolate yourself and the more you're just deciding to stay at home and become a hermit, the less opportunities you will have. So this really asks you to just go out and spend more time with friends, family, and even co-workers. Now, when it comes to the inauspicious stars, the first one here is the funeral guest star. Now, there may be a possibility, slight possibility of sickness or maybe even death in the household or in the family. But this is so in order to actually determine whether someone is going to die in your immediate surrounding, we need to have a much closer look at your actual chart. So this is not to scare you. It could just mean that someone gets sick. And it may be something that will take more than a few weeks to just to heal. So take extra care of your family members this year, and make sure if you have elderly family members that you reach out to them more often, check in with them, see how they're doing, and maybe take them to the doctor. Yeah, it's not an indicator that someone necessarily has to die. What's going on here is, in the old days, you could die from a cold, you could die from a sore throat, very, very easily. But nowadays, this happens quite rarely. So just the name itself, funeral guest, yes, it sounds a little bit scary, but what it actually tells you is to just make sure that you connect with family members a little bit more than usual. Make sure to check in with them and see that they're doing okay. Now, then we've got the sky dog star. This indicates small injuries and accidents. So in the old days, this usually meant you were getting hurt by weapons. But in this day and age, it's very rare that someone gets hurt by a weapon. It usually suggests maybe getting a minor surgery or a cut. Yeah, and by a minor surgery, it could be as little as maybe you're removing a mole or something like this, or even going to the dentist, depending on what you're getting done, could be a minor surgery. So this is not something to be overly afraid of. So don't be overly concerned, because none of this is life-threatening. But I would say refrain from doing any extreme sports or high-risk activities. And yeah, just be a little bit more careful with sporting activities in general, because there is a slight indication of injuries and maybe small mishaps. So be careful. And the sky dog energy can also bring a lot of pettiness. So people who are just maybe a little bit jealous of you, or they're talking bad about you behind your back, just don't get yourself entangled in these sorts of arguments and walk away. Then we've got the Calamity charm. So this one asks you to be extra vigilant when it comes to weather-related accidents. So if the weather is great, obviously not much to worry about, but you need to be careful what you're doing and don't expose yourself to areas or to situations where bad weather could put you in harm's way. Yeah. So don't go volcano watching. Don't go outside when there's a typhoon just because it's exciting. Just, stay inside, stay safe. Yeah. Now, the calamity shower can bring unforeseen shocks that will change things quite suddenly. So, not shocks in the sense that you have to be afraid for your life necessarily, but it just unforeseen circumstances that come out of nowhere. So make sure that you have a plan B. Let's say if you travel, what happens if the plane is late, for example, these kind of things. Unforeseen circumstances where you were suddenly called upon to change your plans. Now, calamity shock can also indicate situations where you are being put in a position where you feel trapped because you don't get what was promised. So, whether that's from a professional perspective or personally, can be either way. So maybe you got the impression at work that you were being promoted and you thought that was essentially a promise, and then it doesn't come and you feel let down. So this is also sort of like an energy, or that's also something that the calamity shock can bring. So just lower your expectations a little bit rather than relying on other people's promises. And then lastly, we've got the prison inmate star. So this also, together with the calamity star, can mean that you feel trapped, either professionally or personally. So whenever you do feel trapped, the key is not to just stand still and get paralyzed, because then definitely nothing good will happen. What you need to do is take small steps forward to avoid giving into the feeling of, oh, I'm absolutely stagnating and I'm really trapped now. Small steps forward, even if they may not immediately see a positive result, as long as you keep moving forward in the direction you want to go, you will be fine. The risk here is that you withdraw and that you stop even trying. And that will then really, really trap you in a situation that you are not happy with. All right. So this is the forecast for the rabbit. As I said, make full use of that thriving star. Mingle with friends, mingle with family and co-workers. Make sure that you brainstorm opportunities to make money, because that will make it a good year for you. All right. So if you do have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comment section below. Or if you would like a comprehensive reading where we really look at every single aspect of your Bazi chart, you can contact me directly. My email address is in the description to the video. And in the meantime, I would really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel so we can grow this community. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with anybody who may have the rabbit in their chart. Okay? See you guys soon. Take care.